If there's one thing that we know about Prince Philip is that he really does not like fuss, and he made that known when it came to planning his funeral as well. It won't be a state funeral, instead it will be a royal ceremonial funeral, which will be a much more private affair. It's going to take place at St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. It's the same place that Harry and Meghan got married. It's also a place that's considered a family chapel rather than a public gathering space. Those final details, including when it will take place, are all being considered at the moment. And I would imagine a lot of that is down to the fact that many people who will be attending this funeral, perhaps on diplomatic terms, will still have to quarantine for 10 days when they enter the country. That, of course, could include Prince Harry as well. So there are many things that they need to take into account before they announce the official dates. For Harry, who is so close to his grandfather, we only recently heard him talking about the Zoom calls they had together with that James Corden interview.
Does the Queen know how to use a Zoom?
Yes. Both my grandparents do.
This is crazy.
We've seen them a few times. They've seen Archie running around. But my grandfather, instead of like pressing leave meeting,
yes,
he just goes.
It's going to be a very difficult time for him. Not only is he many miles away from his family and the Queen over here, who I'm sure he would want to be helping comfort at this difficult time, he's also not able to be immediately part of what will be going on over here in the UK. From what I heard, the Sussexes found out about Prince Philip's death at the same time as everyone else. It was sort of a unified approach from palace officials to make sure all royal family members were told at the same time. But now, of course, raises the challenge for Harry to see if he can actually get here for the funeral. No doubt his team will be in close communication with palace officials to find out when that is and if there is going to be enough time for him to arrive here and quarantine. But I would imagine he's going to be doing everything he can to be here to pay respects to his grandfather. It is extremely likely that Harry will do everything he can to be over here to celebrate the life of his grandfather, a man that he was incredibly close to. We've heard him talk so warmly about him on recent occasions. And I'm sure it'll be difficult for him to be traveling alone. Of course, Meghan is heavily pregnant at the moment. That makes it very difficult for her to be traveling. And of course, with little Archie at an age where an event like this perhaps might not be appropriate, it makes sense that he would travel alone by himself. But those final details still need to be worked out. Meghan, as we know, is heavily pregnant at the moment. She is not far away from the arrival of baby number 2. And so there will be many conversations that will have to take place before she could even consider traveling over here to the UK. On top of that, we of course are in the middle of a pandemic that proves difficult with restrictions of its own. And so I would imagine that there will be a very likely scenario that Harry is over here representing the entire Sussex family. And it will be a difficult moment because I'm sure that Meghan would want to be by Harry's side for what will be a very difficult time for him. It'll no doubt be a bittersweet moment for Harry if he's able to attend the funeral of his grandfather, because of course at St George's Chapel, it was the same place that he got married to Meghan, but that really highlights the importance of the venue. St George's Chapel is a royal family chapel, and so many moments have happened there. A moment like this in a family will, of course, present its own challenges for the Cambridges and other parents in the family with children who are very close to their great-grandparents. It's always difficult to break that news that someone, in this case Prince Philip, has passed away. But there will be very open conversations happening with the Cambridge family at the moment. And I would imagine that the family are all preparing to head down to London in the days ahead, so they can not only perhaps have an opportunity to see the Queen, but also to really involve the children in what is a very big family moment. Everyone will be coming together to remember an incredible life.